Allison, Aaron here.
Hello.
And this is the world that we live in. I guess I'm going to start all my videos now with this is the world that we live in. Because it's just...
It seems very difficult to understand how they even construed these words together in a meaningful phrase. Anti-terror plan to spy on toddlers is heavy-handed. They're going to flush out through the things toddlers do and their infantile behavior to try to figure out who could be a risk.
Who is at
right?
risk for becoming a terrorist?
Am I misunderstanding this? Did I wake up in a...
George Orwell is already spontaneously combusted in his grave.
This little girl is drawing a spiral. I think it's a Fibonacci spiral.
That
it looks reminiscent of The Wizard of Oz or something.
Is she a terrorist, though?
Is she trying to draw out the yellow brick road to steal gold from the central government?
Oh, she's a terrorist. That's what that pink flowered shirt means. She's a terrorist. No, seriously. Okay. This was sent to us by fellow TFR radio host Kev Baker. And I'm just going to read this and try not to laugh as I'm reading it. So, the Home Office in the UK has put out a 39-page consultation document in a bid to bolster its Prevent Anti-Terrorism plan. The plan is called Prevent, but the way they wrote it is like they're trying to prevent anti-terrorism. Anyway, whatever. Critics say the idea is unworkable and heavy-handed and turns the teachers and caregivers into spies. Anyway, the document adds, quote, senior management and governors should make sure that staff have training that gives them the knowledge and confidence to identify children at risk of being drawn into terrorism and challenge extremist ideas. That's a big point right there, which can be used to legitimize terrorism or shared by terrorist groups. They're going to challenge extremist ideas in toddlers. I mean, the schools that we have, I don't know about the UK. I'm assuming it's probably similar. But here, our schools have thousands upon thousands of cameras that the kids have to walk around being watched all the time by security hubs. We have schools that are being given tanks. I don't know about in the UK, but here we got that, okay? So kids are already being taught that they are living in an electronic concentration camp. Now we're going to train over in the UK teachers to spot terrorists in nursery school.
Here are the children she will teach, each complex and unique, different in background, abilities, and needs.
Back in 2011 in the UK, this is what they were doing. They were labeling 3-year-olds racist in a record that can follow them over there throughout their entire lives and keep them from getting gainful employment once they graduate. One of the kids was called racist for calling another boy a broccoli head. And another was said to be homophobic because he told his teacher that his work is gay. Gay used to mean joyful, by the way.
This is not fun and games, though. This is a data-driven society. In the UK, under the antisocial behaviorism laws and policies, they have also labeled people when they're still in the womb as a fetus based on the activities of their mother, particularly if she's a drug or alcohol user and so forth. They will label you as predisposed to antisocial behavior and quite literally put you in a category for monitoring from the very time that before you were born. And these little things, meaningless things, calling kids names when you're still not even in grade school, will have the potential to haunt people. It's a very pre-crime oriented system. We've already pointed out in recent weeks all the ways that we're becoming a pre-crime society, and it's worse than guilt by association. It's not even having someone who doesn't like you inform on you because of your attitude and they don't appreciate it. This is going against all logic to judge you based on indicators that are probably not real.
Susan decided to play with the children. She asked Skipper to come along. But Skipper refused to go. He didn't like the looks of these new children, and he wouldn't play with them.
According to developmental psychology, children don't even begin to develop the ability to reason with logic till they're 7 or 8. Operational thinking skills don't begin until you're 9, 10, 11 years old. But we're going to label toddlers as racist. We're going to let that follow them for the rest of their life. It's a thought crime for a little kid who doesn't even understand the words that are coming out of their mouths.
But they have found, on the other hand, that if you tell a kid they're going to be a failure before they have a chance to prove you otherwise, it's going to predispose them to that.
Which is what this is, total labeling. And here's the thing. So this happened back in 2011. And we're always talking about slippery slopes here at True Stream Media. This was 3 years ago. Well, now, I guess 3.5 years ago. And now look where they are today. Now we've gone from labeling words coming out of a 3-year-old's mouth in a criminal way that will follow them throughout their lives. Now we have teachers spying on small children like the TSA to determine if they're going to be terrorists. This is the world we live in.
It's not even Orwell. It's
beyond
It's
that.
Orwellian on an acid trip over like a frying pan. It seems beyond distorted.
I don't know what else to say.